Hey everybody, another episode, episode 48 of Small Business Talk with Jerry. 48, Craig.
48.
Yeah, how awesome is that?
That's very awesome.
Yeah, so I want to introduce, I'm Jerry, of course, the Jerry of the podcast.
The Jerry?
That's it, some kind of pretentious.
That's a little bit much.
Yeah,
Let's
we don't
roll
edit
that back
things.
just
Yeah,
a touch.
I would edit that out if we edited things. But,
yeah, right.
but the Jerry doesn't know how to edit, so we don't do that. And then we have Craig and we have Jake with us today. So introduce yourself, guys.
Oh, again, of 48 podcasts, I think I've done, 20, 15, 20,
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
So,
quite a few.
I'm an old hat when it comes to this, so we'll just turn it over to Jake. Jake was State Farm. Not wearing khakis.
Yeah,
No.
I was a little disappointed when I saw you get out of the car. I gotta be honest. I gotta be honest.
Well, my full name is Jacob Andrews. I'm better known as Jake from State Farm. I've been in the industry for a little bit over a year, but I did actually do insurance inspections throughout my time in college. So I did that for a little over 2 years. But now that I'm on the other side and I'm selling it, things have been going great, and I'm excited to be on the podcast with both you guys today.
What is inspections entail? Like you were doing out like for underwriting stuff?
Yeah, yep. So it was for a third-party company out of Tonawanda, New York, and they're called.
That's just fun to say.
It is, yeah.
Tonawanda.
Tonawanda. And I found the job through Indeed, and it was just one of those college jobs. I was broke, needed some money, and I knew I wanted to be in the insurance side of things, but I was like, hey, here's an inspector. It's remote. It was like $22 an hour. You get paid for gas. And I was like, well, heck, why not? So I applied for the job, and it was about 2 weeks of online training. So nothing too crazily. Luckily, I had a background with just homes in general. I grew up kind of renovating some flips with my dad and brother, so I knew how to look for electrical panels and furnaces, different stuff like that. But yeah, with the insurance inspection job, I actually did commercial. I did residential, homes that were basically just a shack, and then also homes that were over $1 million.
So this is so the company out of Tonawanda, what is it called?
Mueller.
No, but where is the town?
Oh, Tonawanda.
Tonawanda.
I'll tell you what, if my wife's middle name was Tonawanda, that's what I'd call her. Yeah. I would introduce her to people as Tonawanda.
Here's Tonawanda.
Yeah, this is my wife, Tonawanda.
So this company, so they were insuring, but you were basically going out and say, hey, is this property correct on how to insure? Like, we're insuring.
So basically, every big insurance company out there, they'll hire these third-party vendors that will go do these surveys for them. So a lot of the times it's rural areas. It was in North Dakota, but I did work in Minnesota as well. So they'd send me out to the middle of freaking nowhere. I mean, near the Canadian border. Near.
What are they? Are they trying to avoid like fraud? Like the property doesn't exist, or is it more?
Yes, it's
about specific.
Nothing to do with claims. It had nothing to do with these people.
Just this property actually is a.
Does it exist?
It exists.
Does the roof look like we can see it looks like? Are there any vicious dogs? Are you hiding a trampoline? Is your pool?
Trampolines are like. Does that make your insurance go up?
Yes, it does. Yep, it's a risk. And not every company, but most companies, yes, it's an extra risk on your yard.
Your trampoline's credit score factors in also.
So where'd you go? You went to college at NDSU?
University of North Dakota. No, horns down. Yep, roll Sioux.
All right.
So.
It's funny. Like, I was with some guys last night, and they were talking about like the Sioux. Like you guys don't have the mascot anymore, but everything is still Sioux, right?
Everything is still Sioux. Yeah, it's technically a fighting hawk now.
Yeah.
I don't know where that all got started.
But there's still a Sioux thing on campus, right? Like where you can find Sioux gear.
on the Ralph Engelstad Arena, one of the most famous arenas in all of college hockey, there's still a fighting Sioux head located on the outside. Because the sponsor for that building, basically the guy who paid for it all, said, if you ever take that Sioux head down, take the whole damn building down with it.
No kidding?
That's who we are. Yep. Wow. So they have yet to been able to get around that loophole. But everything else technically is now changed to the Fighting Hawks.
Fighting Hawks.
Wow.
Whatever. Just let the Sioux run.
Never seen a Hawk play hockey.
No, never.
I don't know if I've ever seen a Sioux play hockey, to be honest, but that's irrelevant. I think it's still.
Well, there's plenty of other sports teams out there. I mean, some have changed. But you still got Chicago Blackhawks, and there's plenty of other hockey teams out there. So it is what it is.
So where'd you grow up?
Devils Lake, North Dakota is where I'm from.
What is with all the cool town names? They're just
Yeah.
like drawn to
Yeah,
it.
and now you're in
Devil's Lake.
Rochester.
Yeah.
That was like
Yeah.
North Dakota. Yep. That's yeah, it's been the town name for as long as I know. 7,000 people about, and it's right sandwiched in between the state capital of Bismarck and then Grand Forks, which is where I went to college. So you're just right in the middle of that about, but not much to do there besides hunt and fish.
Yeah.
And drink beer if you like that. We got plenty of liquor stores too.
Listen,
Well,
nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. That's right. That's right.
So,
Yeah.
what brought you to Rochester?
The classic. My wife works at
Oh,
Mayo Clinic,
Sure,
so
of
yeah,
course, absolutely.
followed her here.
Never heard that before.
No, I just didn't know you were married.
Yeah, 24.
8 kids.
No, not yet. Maybe God willing, but nope. We're both 24. We met in college at a fraternity. It wasn't even my fraternity. It was a different one she was at, but we met there. Yeah, yep, yeah. There you go. Yep, and started dating pretty quick after. I was head over heels, I guess you could say.
What's your last name?
Nadia.
Nadia.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I didn't
So
know. You're married. I mean, I've only met you a handful of
I
times.
got the ring on. I'm not.
Yeah,
I
didn't
didn't.
see it.
Yeah. If you're watching this, honey.
You know what? You never brought that up. Okay, nice. It's yours, man. Very good. Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. That's how I ended up in Rochester. I'm from Iowa, so.
Oh, from Iowa. Okay, nice. Yeah.
Same thing. So, well, Jake from State Farm. You're Jake from State Farm, and you got into the insurance business. Why?
Big reason is both my dad and my brother are in real estate. They're very passionate about it. I've kind of grown up seeing all sides of it: rentals, flips, just even moving homes a couple times. Like you kind of get an idea of just what everything there is about it. And I really like the idea of owning real estate, having that assets, owning rentals. But I knew there was another side of it. And with both my dad and my brother being in that industry, I was like, well, I don't want to just ride the coattails, right? I want to do something. Well, what else can I do that's kind of right there? So I was thinking inspections, man, or blue collar job, roofing, something. And I was like, what about insurance? Everybody needs insurance. Yep. It's hand in hand. They always are complaining about having to pay it. Yeah. Why not help them out with that?
Why not collect it?
Yeah.
So
we do love our insurance bills.
Yep. Yes. Yeah. You don't meet too many guys that are like, I want to sell insurance when I grow up. That's what I want to do. But the more I've really gotten into the industry, the more I've come to appreciate just how important it can be for your family if something happens to you. Or I saw it firsthand. My wife. So what we were just talking about, Nadia, she was in a really bad car accident February 15th of 2024. Wow. And it was, my apologies, 2025, February 15th of 2025. And I saw firsthand just what insurance companies are going to do and how it can actually work to protect you or how they can be giving you gruff the whole time when you're in talks with them.
Yeah. So let's talk about that world. I mean, okay, all insurance companies are not created equal. Fair.
Yeah.
Premiums aren't the same from State Farm to
Allstate to
Progressive to wherever, right? They're all different. But talk a little bit about the difference between, to your point, what you get for insurance. Because I'm of the so full disclosure here, I was a State Farm client for a long time, and actually my wife had State Farm is the only company, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, is the only company that they just keep policies in force. They just change what is insured on that policy, right? And so my wife had a policy, a vehicle policy that was written in 1972, and it just hey, got rid of that car, added this car to it, and now it just stays in force, and it gives you some longevity discounts and whatnot, what have you. But so I was a State Farm client for a long time, and I still have a policy with them, but and I had a fire with them, and they were great. They were fantastic to work for. I mean, so I don't have any qualms about State Farm as far as good, bad, or otherwise. I mean, they treated me very well, so I can't complain. But that can't always be said, right? If you have flow or
I mean, one of the best ways I can put it is if you're going into Walmart to buy a can of soup, there's 100 different kinds of chicken. Maybe not that many. I don't know, but
there's a lot. Yeah.
But you're looking. I mean, there's Campbell's. There's Great Value. There's the vegan brand. I mean, there's just all these different companies out there, and that's kind of how it is with insurance. So a lot of the times, you pay for what you get, and that's true not only with insurance. I mean, you go to buy a car battery. And next thing you know, you cheap out on that. Well, 2 years down the road, things, it's toast. So a lot of it is you pay for what you get. But the other big part of that is the people you're working with. Who's your agent and who are you going to go to when you do have a claim? Because regardless of the company they represent, that person is still your point of contact. You can do the 1-800, call claims, deal with all this, or you can have that agent. If they're a good agent, they'll do it for you.
Yeah.
And they'll provide everything they can.
And I think that maybe not to everybody. To me, again, I can't speak for everybody. To me, that's worth, I guess, a premium when it comes to
a premium.
Yeah,
right.
Because I don't want to have to deal with it. Like I don't want to have to wait on hold if something happens. And I've told every insurance agent that I've ever, especially since I kind of became an adult, I was told, well, I mean, we use that word loosely. I've told every agent, I said, listen, I don't, the premium is whatever it is. I mean, granted, but I mean, all I really want is if I have a problem, for you to freaking take care of it. That's all I want. If I have an accident, don't tell me to call this person and, and whatever to say. I'll handle it. Take it here, and I'll handle it.
My line is always, when I have a problem, I want to work as hard at collecting my claim as you do collecting your premium from me.
Yeah.
So if you have to chase me down and I make life miserable paying the premium, by all means, make it tough on me when I have a claim. However, right?
When that monthly automatic draw happens,
right.
You don't,
right. When I come in and pay my insurance, I give you a lump sum at the beginning of every year. We pay our insurance annually. It's like when I give you that lump sum at the beginning of the year, and it's a little early, a few days early, no one had to call me, no one had to remind me, no one had to chase me down because it's 30 days past due or whatever. It's like I want it to be just as painful or lack thereof when it comes time for a claim.
Yeah.
That's all I ask, is just lay out the rules so I know what's covered and what's not. Meet with me once in a while, right? Just keep me abreast of what's going on. And if something changes in the market, I mean, I understand there's so many factors. I mean, we talked about this a little off air. I mean, credit score makes a difference. But, the thing that people don't think about too is if you're with an insurance company that is Southern Minnesota and they just insure Southern Minnesota because they're a small company, and then we have a tornado, we have hail, and it just decimates Southern Minnesota. Well, where are their claims? Southern Minnesota. Where are their clients? Same place. So it stands to reason that their rates may go up more than a company that's covering 8 states, because 8 states didn't get hit with hail. Now, one of those states might have got hit with a tornado or whatever, but you don't know that their losses are as great or as concentrated. That's a factor that's a big deal, right? When it comes to assessing premiums and
makes a very big deal. It is exactly like you just said. If a tornado came through and hit 20 of those homes, well, if even 10 of those homes are insured with that same company, now that agent is solely responsible for 10 different people, families coming into his office, all wanting the best care they can get. I mean, the guy's head would explode.
Right.
You just,
You're gonna need help. It's gonna, and you've got to think about that. And then too, when rates go up next year, it's like, well, if you're with this company that they took 10 homes as a loss also, but they're insuring 6,000 homes. This guy took a 10 home loss and he's insuring 87 homes. It's a big difference. I mean, that all factors in for sure.
Rates are a funny thing with how they jump. All across the board, regardless of the company, they're going to take a look. They're going to share the data and they're going to say, all right, guys, this is the weather for this area. This is how much hail. This is how much total loss we had. They're working in cahoots. Why would they not? Right. I mean, this isn't something they're telling us, but why would they not? They want it. Every company wants to be able to charge just that perfect amount. Not too much to where you're going to shop them around, but not too little to where they can't rebuild your home if it's on fire.
Right.
So the rates, they're going to change wherever you are. They're never going to stay the same.
Are rates ever like cyclical? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, because I know, well, within SBR, we've got other agents, and I've known agents, and Jerry's known agents, and whatnot. So I mean, I've had these conversations with them before. But State Farm, I think is the biggest, right, out there.
Yeah, the number one car, number one home insurer.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So obviously, to Jerry's point, I mean, State Farm as a whole, as a company, is insuring millions and millions of homes and cars and all that stuff. And I think, right, like here a few years ago, like State Farm, or maybe it was just recently, finally took a rate increase, but they haven't for quite some time, is my understanding. Right?
Yeah.
But at some point, right, everybody's going to have to take a rate increase, or already have. So now, State Farm may have been more expensive, and then because XYZ insurance company had to take a rate increase, and now they didn't, and now you did, and whatever. But does it ever? This is probably a dumb question, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. Does insurance? Do premiums ever go down? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like, what if let's just say, I know the weather patterns here in our area have changed.
Correct. Yeah.
So that's why. So for all those people listening to this podcast, it's not Jacob State Farm's problem that your insurance is going up. I mean, the weather patterns have changed. Like more more hail, more whatever we have in this. Right. The stuff in the air moved.
Derechos and anything.
Yeah, all that stuff moved. The jet stream moved. What my understanding. Hey, getting off in the side.
Yeah, so I mean, with rates, most of the time you're gonna see auto insurance be the one that's pretty variable, so that'll go down. The home insurance, maybe if the company's investment.
I guess the cost of building a home is going to go down, so that probably doesn't make sense.
Yeah, well, cars too. I mean, when I graduated, I mean that was 1989. I mean, the average price of a car, if you're up 25 to 30 grand,
that you weren't even born yet.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Was it like the Flintstones car? You got your feet run?
Well, you had to push it hard. They went on there, but you had to start them by yourself. Yeah. So that wraps this episode up. That was I've had enough of this shit. It's good. but no, I mean, I guess we'll have to Google it. Somebody will correct me in the comments. But I want to say that when I graduated, if you dropped 25, 30 grand on a car, you bought a hell of a car. I mean, you were buying premium rigs. You weren't $25,000 was not like the average new car in '89. It was way above average. And now, I mean, we're looking at an SUV. You look at anything. I mean, if you're looking at new, you can buy nice stuff for under 60 grand, but not awesome stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not
nowhere near.
No, 60 grand. It's pretty easy to drop. I mean, a Suburban.
Yeah, Suburban.
Just with a little equipment, it's 75 grand.
Yeah.
With a little
equipment.
When
you like Denali's and the King Ranches of the top of the line stuff, they're over 100.
Oh yeah, they're over 100. I know we looked at Wagoneers. Jeep Wagoneers, their base Wagoneer is like 70 something, and nobody stocks those. Everything on the Wagoneer was 89 to 116, 118.
Those are some of the worst appreciating cars I've seen too. They're losing about 20 to 30% of their value over 3 to 5 years.
Yep.
So
they're like a Tahoe-sized Jeep. They're
nice.
They're nice. They're comfy.
They look nice.
Yeah,
they have lots of fancy stuff on them.
It's going to
cost a fortune to fix for their insurance.
Yeah,
you got to be.
Well, when you used to do the windshields and stuff. Now I don't know where the sensors are located for this, but we were driving a Grand Wagoneer not that long ago, and there was a little symbol on the dash on a button or on the screen, I should say, and I didn't recognize. I mean,
the infrared one,
right? And I was like, I'm like, what is this for? And it's infrared reading the ditches for like deer and animals and stuff. And it's an infrared scanner that goes out.
It scans out 30 feet.
You got to be shitting me. Yeah. I mean, that's some incredible technology.
Got to be able to have heat-seeking missiles pretty soon with that.
Yeah. Do insurance rates change? If I'm trying to think here. I mean, every car's got airbags. I think every car's got seatbelts.
For decades.
But like, if I have a vehicle, so lane keep, a lot of the ADAS stuff that I used to deal with J-Rocks, right? So like lane keep assist, adaptive cruise control, all those things. If a car has that in the same model but does it just a lesser model, does insurance change? I mean,
yes, it will, and there's a reason why we get your VIN number obviously when we write someone up. But also, even with your VIN number, we're still required to put in what model of the car it is, because my Honda Accord EXL with the V6 engine is a lot different than the LX with the four banger in it.
Sure.
So it matters what model of car you have, and yes, your premium will change because some of them have the vehicle safety too, like you said, the adaptive cruise. So that's
So would that go up, or would it make it go up or down?
the more safety, the cheaper your premium.
Okay, that's what I say. Yeah, that's what
let's. I mean, here math. Craig's favorite subject.
I'm
math,
so good at math.
Is, but I mean, think about that. So now we have the ADAS system, right? ADAS. You have all these safety pieces that come into that. The infrared. So your premiums should go down because the car is safer. But each one of those pieces of equipment carry a hefty cost when you smash one up.
Very true.
So now it's like, shouldn't it go up because you have more equipment that's more expensive to fix? Where does that balance out?
In my mind, it would
I feel like
balance
Jake
out.
should have all these answers.
He should.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start rattling stuff off. You just say yes, no, yes.
Up, down, yeah.
That's right. I think so. When it comes to, I know, like, go to Nate at G&J Buy Shop, and he'll tell you what the cost of all those sensors are.
Yeah.
They're not cheap.
Right. Correct.
However, the statistics show, and I just remember this from doing all my ADAS training for JROCs, was that if you can reduce an accident, like automatic braking, which is an ADAS.
Well, sure, you can take 10 miles an hour off the accident.
Yeah. So I think the insurance premiums will go down because you're gonna have less bodily injury.
Sure.
The car, to fix the car
Right.
that has sensors in the bumper that doesn't, probably, I mean, maybe $1,000, $1,500 difference, whatever.
Right.
But if you can have someone survive an accident or walk away versus mail one ride, well, now you're talking big money. So I would imagine that would have to play a part. So I mean, you probably do have these or have been given these. I don't expect you to know them, but I do know they do have statistics out there that show if you can reduce a car crash from 55 to 45 and so on and so forth.
Right.
The difference in bodily injury.
I believe it 100%. And them fixing a sensor for 30, 40,000, if it's that, compared to 1 day admittance in the hospital, that's they're going to take the sensor every day of the week. So
yeah, for sure.
I want to go way back to the very beginning of our conversation because this been rattling around in my head. When you were doing your inspections, did you ever get to a piece of property that didn't exist?
Good question.
I mean, that like a building didn't exist or the building wasn't
exist,
or one that was like
misrepresented.
Yes, there was a couple. Sometimes it would be like non-owner occupied for the homes, so there'd be something weird with the family living there, and they'd be all weirded out about pictures. Other times it'd be commercial businesses where they got a lot more going on than they say they do, and usually it was bars. So it's funny, when during my time in college when I had the job, I was only 20, so I'd be inspecting these bars and I couldn't even sit down to have a beer after with the guy, so that. But yeah, sometimes you'd get bars and they'd have an apartment above that they'd say is vacant, but there's actually someone there, or that.
What about like stuff going on at the bar? Like, I'm just like, they have a mechanical bull in the back that they didn't tell you about, right?
Yeah, I think I saw maybe a couple gambling operations. I won't disclose the bars, but yeah, a couple pig wheel boards that looked a little too easy to take off the wall and put down if someone came in.
Oh boy. That's
funny. I mean, like in international business, you look at like Alibaba is a big source. A lot of people use to find. And so I was working on a project a few years ago, and Alibaba certified. So I asked, I'm emailing my rep from Alibaba, and I asked him, I said, what goes into certification? And he kind of made a joke of it, but he's like, there's a lot to it. The biggest thing is make sure they exist. I was like, what? And he's like, well, he says, you're in Minnesota. You're going to buy this widget or a pallet of these widgets, from Shangzhou, whatever. And he says, you're not going to fly 26 hours to tour the building, right? It's like, no. So when you do this, if you are, cognizant enough to like say, hey, I want a tour of the facility, they'll walk you through like a Zoom or like a FaceTime call.
Oh.
But he said, where are they? Where are they? Is this even the company that you're?
Yeah.
I mean, they're literally touring you through a building, but is this is this building even owned by the company you're dealing with?
Sure.
And then you spend a bunch of money, and they're either third party sourcing it from someone else that doesn't meet the standards or may not,
or just take your money,
or they just take your money, right? And the place just literally doesn't even exist. And so, and you get you can get coordinates and use Google Earth. But again, what shows a building? It shows parking. It shows people coming in and out. But does the guy that you're talking to, that you're sending the money to, does he own the building? I mean, he's giving you an address, but I mean, do you have the resources and the time it takes to figure out if the guy I'm talking to is the real guy? He said that was their verification. Similar to your job, was they would literally go on site, they would take pictures, they'd meet people, they'd put photos of the people, make sure that the people match, not just the building and the business.
Wow.
But yeah, he was telling me all kinds of stories as we worked together more and more, that these guys would literally go in and they would walk through like a facility, and they would just they'd walk you through talking to you as if this is my facility. And then he said, and then you'd go in there and it's like, nope, they didn't even work there. And,
Wow.
it's literally just a scam. So,
and I'm sure that stuff's only getting worse too, with more people getting into drop shipping and whatnot, trying to order stuff, and now
yep. When you're doing like white label ordering of products, and obviously you don't want to intentionally sell something fraudulent. And if you did all your due diligence, assuming you did it right, and then you find out later on that you're just selling garbage, I mean, we really got to be careful when it's not something you can walk through.
Is there anything that you don't write? Like, I mean, you personally, I guess. I mean, I know.
Yeah, I can't do anything indexed, so that has ties to the market. I don't have my financial license. Series. Yep, that. And then there's some surplus lines of like commercial, or like if someone's like, hey, I got a private jet, can you insure me? I wish, but no, like State Farm can't write stuff like that. So anything crazy, wacky, super cool, that's like, hey, I still need insurance on this, we probably can't write. Our bread and butter is really home, auto, life, and then the supplemental health. So
sure, okay. So I have a question. So I still have a boat policy through State Farm, and I have had other insurance agents look at this thing because I don't think it's right. Now, it's been in force for a long time, since 2008.
Okay.
And it is a stated value policy.
Okay.
And I'm not going to say my agent's name. It's not you.
Yeah.
I can switch it.
Yeah, well, yeah. We'll talk off air. Yeah.
But so my boat and my trailer are insured for X dollars.
Yeah.
And but it's not worth that today. But I have been told, because it's a state of value policy, if my boat or something would happen to my boat, I would be paid that dollar.
That's exactly it. It's a state.
I just don't understand it.
Yep.
I wanted to total my boat.
That's how my Stingray was. It was because it originally, it was when you look at like my insurance card, for instance, when I got, it was insured through State Farm way back. And when it wasn't, I mean, this was years ago when I first got it, over 20 years ago. And so I called my agent. I found coverage because I was buying the car. It was on a Friday afternoon. And then it's like, okay, well, come on through and we'll deal with it next week. We got 7 days, is what he told me. So we got 7 days to figure this out. I'm like, okay. So I buy the car. Well, then it comes in and he prints off a card for me, and it just is a 72 Chevrolet is what it, and I'm like, what's the value on that? What, $800? And he kind of laughed. I'm like, because I know what I just paid for this thing, and it needs a lot of work. And I said, when it's done, well, that was just it. He's like, he couldn't with State Farm. I ended up having to go to Haggerty because, like you said, specialty. Because all of a sudden he's just going, well, I can, and I think he said he could go up to $7,000 or $8,000 was all he could insure that car for. It's like, okay, this thing's a wreck. When I bought it, it was wore out, and it was a wreck. I paid more than that for it, because it was a 72 Stingray, and it's like, I'm going to put it together. And when we got it all done, I had to have an appraisal done to it, and then that's what we had on that. We had a stated value policy
through State Farm.
No, through Haggerty. But that's what we had. We had to go through the process of having it appraised, and then they appraised, then they valued it, and it did stated value policy there. State Farm wouldn't do that on that particular vehicle. But
it's really hard with the repairs too, because a lot of the times you don't get guys like you that are doing something to a beautiful car. You get guys that are buying clapped out Subarus, actually trying to, hey, I just put $8,000.
WRX, and it's sweet, man.
And it's, dude, what about I need this insured for 14 grand? You're like, okay, it's gonna blow up. It's got over 100,000 miles on it. Like, we can't do too much besides, give you the actual cash value on it if something happened.
Yeah, and that was, we've been with State Farm for years and years, and no problems. Like I say, this wasn't a negative at all. But he was real honest. He goes, he's like, this is just isn't what we do.
Do you guys still write state of like if I were to buy a new boat, do you still write?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Boats. Or stated value.
Yeah.
You're asking? Yes. Yep. You'll tell me whatever you paid MSRP or whatever your number was, and I'll plug that in. And then usually it's not a specific stated value policy. Those are usually for like olders, antiques, stuff that's like a little bit more one off. So yeah, if you get a new boat, I mean, there's so much information about it online anyways. They're gonna know the actual cash value whether you give it to me or not.
But I'm saying like, so if I bought a new boat and it was stated value, I mean, that's just what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't make sense in my head that, because I don't say this to be mean to myself, but like my boat, I love my wife, I want a new boat. So honey, if you listen to this one, Jake from State Farm.
We'll say it'd save you some money if you're not with State Farm. Get you a new boat.
Yeah, but
Craig did follow you from Iowa.
Yeah,
that's true. That's right. That's where sunny. Like, so it's not worth what I paid for it today, obviously. But that's why it doesn't make sense to me. Like, hey, well, it's it's a stated value. Even though it might only be worth $500, but we're gonna pay you whatever you insured it for.
Yeah, we know realistically it's only worth what someone will pay at the end of the day. So you find the right guy on Facebook Marketplace. You never.
But I'm saying if my boat was total.
Like, they're going to give you the stated value. I mean, if you really wanted, you could call and reduce it down, but you've already been paying the same amount.
Use it by down payment on my new.
So here's a question, which even though I had a policy on this, I don't know the answer. I was fortunate, never had a real issue that had to be dealt with. But so let's say you've got, like my Stingray, use that as an example, and we'll have stated value on it of $40,000. And in reality, the markets move, especially on classic cars. Markets move a ton. There was a time where Barrett Jackson, a lot of cars were going for 7 figures. And then, we had a few years later, you couldn't, I mean, you put a Hemi Cuda up there and couldn't get $300,000 for it.
Do they still do Barrett Jackson?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Mecum and Barrett Jackson. There's some other players in the arena now. Barrett Jackson's not by themselves anymore. But yeah.
God, stop.
No, but so my question being, like in Craig's situation, say you've got a boat with a stated value of one number, it's obviously older and it's not worth that anymore, and you don't total it, but you have an accident and you've got to get a claim on it. So, I mean, like if you had a $40,000 Corvette, what is it, 60%? I mean, I suppose it changes that number variable.
And I'll tell you this first. Thank God we have an amazing service team that deals with most of this stuff.
Does all the math.
Not even just they're the ones that actually work with the claims. My best answer for you would be, so if you get into a wreck and it's not totaled, if it's a 72 Stingray, most of the time that thing's totaled. I mean, it would have to be a very one-off accident where it's like, okay, it's still drivable. You get an adjuster who had a bad morning, and he's like, yeah, it's not totaled. I'm not going to give you the stated value for it. It's fixable.
Well, what I'm more concerned about is let's take a situation where the stated value is $40,000. Okay, that's what I'm paying my premium on based on $40,000 payout or value, and you get an accident. Maybe the market's down and the car's worth $25,000. Well, a $25,000 car, that's going to be total. If you get $15,000, $17,000 worth of damage, you're going to total it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's got a stated value of $40,000. So all of a sudden, a $15,000 or $17,000 claim shouldn't total a $40,000 car. What do you do? Because you're paying on $40,000, but the car's really not worth $40,000. Like your boat situation, it's like where would they total that? Is that based? Is a total value based on what it's really worth, or is the total value based on your stated value of the policy?
That's stated value. If you give a stated, it's 100% that stated value.
So if I had stated value of $40,000 my Corvette, and in reality we see now it's only worth $25,000, and I get a $20,000 claim, you're going to fix it.
You're fine.
You're going to fix it because it's got a $40,000 value to the insurance company.
And it's where that gets a little meh, as if someone's trying to insure a $6,000 car for $40,000, then you're like, okay, we have to do due diligence as producers. But if it's antique,
there's legitimate reasons to be overinsured on. Like, I mean, in mine, I guarantee you, there's a time where my stated value was way over what I could have sold it for that day, but a year later, it was undervalued. I should have probably bumped it a little bit. So because the market changed, it wasn't that I was trying to take advantage of anybody. It's just, but the market changes,
No, and you're fine.
And,
I mean, they're not coming after you for fraud if something like that did happen.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is like all of a sudden now you got this $40,000 stated value, the market's down, you're getting an accident that should total the car in actual value, but your stated value is high enough that it shouldn't total it. So then you fix it. All right, weird. I mean,
it is weird.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, the stated value policy. I'm just waiting for the day where something happens to my boat, and they're like, "Yeah, well, it's worth."
Wait a minute. Zoom in. What?
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
yeah.
But you've been, like I said, they've been paying the premiums, or you've been paying the premiums on it. It's like, yeah, risk versus reward.
Stated value. Yeah, that's what you're paying for. It's what you'd expect. Yeah.
All right. See.
So what drives you in insurance? As from a small business standpoint, I mean, because you're an employee, but you really kind of run your own business to a point too, right?
100%. 100%.
Do you have aspirations of being your own?
I do. Yes, I would. Yes, like to be my own agency owner one day. A little bit down the road still for that, but as far as what drives me, so with my 4-year college degree, I have a minor in entrepreneurship, and the number one thing I can take away from entrepreneurship, even though I don't quite have my own business yet, is you sell yourself at the end of the day, regardless of what it is. If it's homes, cars, insurance, you're selling yourself. And that is what really drives me, is because I know I'm good at what I do, and I know I can help people. And if I can save you money, man, that's all three. I can feel so good about myself saving you a couple $1,000s a year that's going to drive me every day. And I know that I'm going to be your point of contact for some of life's scariest moments. I mean, like I mentioned, my wife in that car accident, granted, she was still under her dad's insurance, so we didn't deal too much with it. But I know if I had any of my clients and their kid got into an accident like that, I'd want to be available for them first thing, not give them, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that happened. Here's our claims number." No, I want to be there.
Do not return to store. Call manufacturer.
That's the
mentality.
That's the agent portion.
Yeah,
that I was talking about. Like I don't want to have to call if I have an accident. Even if, I mean, gosh, thankfully your wife's okay.
So full coverage.
Even if it's a minor thing, if I just get into a fender bender, right, and I gotta get it fixed, I don't want to have to deal with it. I'm gonna take it to Nate. And that's it. And he'll send the bills in, and then you pay it, and I'll pay my deductible. And that's it. That's all I'm dealing with.
That's it. Yeah, it can be as simple as that. Sometimes people like to overcomplicate it, but at the end of the day, just saving people money, helping you understand your coverage. And I feel good about myself from that. So I've even had people come in, like when they total a car, they'll come in going, we just put tires on that. Back when we used to sell tires, that was always the big one because it's a big expense. Yeah. But if people go, well, I need some receipts because I did a water pump, we did some tires, and we did this and this. I need to show my insurance company I put some money in this car. And I'm just like, does that really? I mean, the car's worth what the car's worth. Yeah. I'm sorry, people. It's like when people come in and, well, I'm thinking I'm going to sell this, and then you tell them it needs this, and it's like, well, if I do that, think I can get more out of it? Well, people kind of expect the brakes to work when they buy a car. So they kind of expect the water pump to pump water. That was a big thing too. Like when you start customizing, right? Like you put on different bigger tires or whatever you want. Aftermarket deck. People. Yeah. Oh God. Oh yeah. Listen, I got a detachable face. Yeah, it's like pioneers. Yeah, my God. Yeah. You're young. You can still know. That's why. But it's like that was for you. Nobody cares. Yeah. When I was in the car business, selling cars, that was a whole. When people come in, they'd show you all the stuff they did to the car, and it's like, well, if I find your twin that wants exactly what you want, they might give me an extra 87 cents for that. Otherwise, people are going more times than not. If you had something like that on the lot, when people come, like, do you still have the original tires? Do you have the original wheels? Yeah. Do you have the original stereo? Do you have the original whatever? It's like, and not like it was a classic. They just like, this stuff scares me, Well, it's gaudy. Right. There's no, all that extra stuff you put on it, there's no value to it when you go to sell it. I mean, so what office do you work at? Our office is located in Northwood, Iowa. That's the one closer to Rochester, the one that I go to. But mostly I work remote. Because you work for Dave, right? Yep. Yeah.
So well, you work remote?
I work remote.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So right away when I was getting my feet wet, I was going in almost every day. But now pretty comfortable. So I work from home 3 to 4 times a week and go in when I need to.
Okay.
So yeah, it's
because he's got an office in Northwood and where's the other
Forest City.
Forest City,
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's in the Owatonna.
Yes, I haven't met him yet, but is he a younger guy?
40s, I think. Yeah, mid 40s, I'd say.
I don't want to say that's younger, but I have to now
Yeah.
at that point in life. I have to say
Remember, she graduated in '89. So.
19. Let's not leave that out.
And shout out to Dave. He runs every single day. Every day.
Yeah, every morning. Not just every day. It's
is
not
it every morning?
It's every morning. 5 a.m. I think. Yeah.
And it's not like, hey, I'm gonna go for a quick couple block jog. I think he's running like 4 or 5 miles every day.
Close to like a 5K every morning.
Crazy.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
on purpose.
Yeah.
Nobody's even chasing him.
Yeah, I think nobody's not afraid.
No.
I mean,
Yeah.
Whitsec,
And like, I'll see him on Tuesday. I'll have to ask him. Did he run this last week? During that snowstorm.
Yeah.
But he did. You think he did?
No, he gets. I don't know if
or does he get
a treadmill.
Oh,
well, no. He runs outside when the weather's nice. If the weather's nice, he's taking off outside. But if it's crappy, he'll just use a treadmill.
Okay. Yeah. I thought he always ran outside. Crazy guy. Yeah. So where do you live? Do you live here in Rochester?
Yeah, here in Rochester. It's a new apartment building just south of RCTC. Really nice unit, and the weather here, it's so much different than North Dakota. I come from like seriously sub-zero temperatures for a solid couple months, and it being 70 yesterday was just it was nice in North Dakota, but it was high 30s, very low 40s.
North Dakota was it? Yeah. How do we get? Not that this has anything to do with insurance, but how do we get 78 degrees yesterday and 38 today?
Yeah.
That doesn't make. I mean, the sun didn't change, did it?
Yeah. Welcome to Minnesota.
Yeah,
no, crazy,
stupid.
Well, and that does a lot too for roofs and stuff with it freezing, melting like that. That's just stuff you got to be aware about, and that to higher insurance premiums.
Look at this kid. He takes your crazy point and turns it right back into insurance.
I wasn't even thinking that. I was just pissed because I couldn't sit outside today. Yeah. The roofs go up.
Well, it's just severe irregular weather patterns is what a lot of companies are blaming it on now for higher rates and stuff like that. I mean, it does make you wonder though. You're like, are they doing something with those jets in the sky? Weather planting or something? I don't know what's going on.
We need a blue roof like Hawaii. We need the blue roofing. It's like. Yeah, we get the call on that rabbit hole.
Right. Yeah. Good luck with that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good
luck. What anything else you've got going on? Something you want to chat about?
Nothing too much. I do really specialize in life insurance around my office. I love writing home and auto. I can do that all day. I love talking with people about their homes. I mean, that's one of your most important, if not your most important asset you have. So I love doing home and auto, but the life insurance side of things, being a 24-year-old kid, it's like, what do you need life insurance for? This, and you're fine. And even a couple of years ago, I'm like, I'm gonna live forever. I'm fine. I'm working out every day.
Yeah, but at 24, like 8 years is forever. I mean, that's it feels like, it's like you don't look. Most people that age are not looking 30 years in the future.
No, definitely not. But there's a lot of possibilities with life insurance, and people are quick to think about it as taboo. And that's how I kind of approach it. Like, man, I don't want to talk with people about them dying. I don't want to be like, you're kind of old, you might need something here. Statistically speaking, you're getting closer. But
we got your car and your house handled, sir, but you look like crap.
We can fix your roof, but whatever you got going on, you cannot fix.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this car's gonna outlive you. You might want to think about that a little bit.
So I do a lot with the life insurance side of things, and there is a good policy for everyone out there, regardless of your age. And I'd say a lot of people are going to be like, oh, I'm good. I have something. I'm covered. We have enough in the bank to take care of me. It's not a concern. Well, to me, life insurance, I'll be honest, I'm not leaving my wife a whole lot of money. I'm not trying to leave her a couple $1 million. What, so the next guy can go in and have fun with it? I mean, let's be real here. Come on. If I kick the can at 32 from a car accident, I'm not leaving her with millions and millions. Now, if we have kids, that's a whole nother story. I mean, that's entirely different. But no, as long as I have something that's going to take care of any debt we have, she's going to be able to live rent-free for a couple of years, not have to, hopefully she mourns me for a good year. Months. Yeah, a couple of months. So I just, I want to...
Someone hot comes to the funeral.
Yeah, exactly. So, Oh, he's a doctor working at Mayo, right? Yeah.
What did your wife do?
Oh, she's a nurse at Mayo, so yeah, she works in the cardiovascular section.
So she's surrounded by doctors. He's gonna have to be pretty impressive.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
You're
Yeah.
okay. I think you're okay.
Man. No, but yeah, that is a lot of what I do is the life insurance. So if anyone's out there and even if you have something now and you just want to look it over and you're like, man, this term policy, I wrote it 18, 17 years ago and it says 20 years. Well, your time's running out on that policy. So reach out. I'll review
Which is a great line for a life
have.
insurance guy.
Right.
Your time is running
Time
out.
should be told us right now.
Yeah.
Let's figure it out.
That's right. When you're selling those car policies, you'll be like, are you sure you want to buy a new car? I don't think you need something that. It doesn't need to last that long. I think. Speaking of
life insurance for kids is a big one too. So in a previous life, I worked for Mutual for a while, and I got life insurance on my kids. And my thing was with that. People say, "Why do I need them on kids?" Right? I mean, obviously we don't.
Sounds morbid.
Oh,
it's a terrible thing to think about.
But here is the absolute truth. I had a younger brother that was killed when he was 6 years old. So, I don't remember if my parents had life insurance on him or not. But my point in that is that if you have children, if anybody's listening to this and you have children and you don't have life insurance on, you need to get a small policy, $5,000-$10,000 policy. And the reason is because you're going to have funeral costs, and the grief that you're going to go through losing a child is one that I would not wish on my worst enemy. But I've always like my wife and I would always say, listen, the last thing I want to do is try to make a payment to a funeral home or something for a coffin that I had to bury my child in, right?
Yeah.
Life insurance, pay for it. So on my kids, it's a whole life policy. So it's got some.
That's what's standard for the kids, yeah. And it's paid off by the time they hit a certain age, depending on how you write it. And I have a coworker. I know she'd be comfortable with me sharing it because she wants others to know. Same thing. Not same thing, but she had a child that within about 2 weeks of having this child passed away, and she was a young mom, basically a single mom at the time. It ruined her. And I mean, that is one of the most just retching things you can hear. So we're all for the children's, and
the premiums they're not crazy expensive, right?
No.
And it's
a newborn is about $17 a month for $25,000 of whole life. Yeah. So
I mean, and that covers a funeral cost.
Man, that's a drink at a bar. Like that. That is one nice drink.
Sometimes that's no. What's that? That's how it starts the whole thing. But let's not.
Yeah. Yeah. So life insurance is important. I mean, a lot of people, I don't think have it or think, hey, especially your guys' age. My kids are 26 and 24. So other than their whole life policies that I have on them, they don't.
Yeah, and it's it's something where people also just think you can buy it whenever. You can be ineligible. Like that is a very common thing. And that's not, if you're denied from one company, that doesn't mean you're going to be denied from another. But a big thing a lot of people don't know, anxiety and depression medicines will affect your eligibility for life insurance. There's a lot of people taking those too. And even if it's something, I'm not really that, anxious. My doctor recommended it, so I'm taking it. That can affect you. And then you go to get life insurance 3 years down the road, and sorry, you've had this history of whatnot, and
pulls your record.
Yeah. So and the younger you get it, the cheaper your rates are. I mean, think about a guy who's 55 trying to get a policy compared to the guy who's 25.
Easy. 55 in like 3 weeks. Thanks.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Nice. I know I should have cut this off.
Like right.
I'm telling you. It's 55. Yeah. That old bastard.
Yeah. Speaking of not much left.
Right. Yeah, you probably should be looking at end of life policies.
Yeah. Don't buy any fresh produce. Right on. Well, I didn't need depression medicine, but I might have to make a call tomorrow. I'm guessing now that they're thinking about it.
Get your life insurance first.
Yeah, get my life insurance first.
Right.
No, and I appreciate what you said, Craig, just with the children's life insurance. You're a dad. I mean, I can't speak that much to it, but it is so important. Yeah. And it's not morbid. It's not taboo. You do it once and you're done. Then you don't worry about it. Then you're not trying to shop around when you hear a tragic story of someone something happened to their kid. It's already done. You don't have to sleep.
But again, I'm speaking from experience with Northwestern Mutual, because I was Series 6 and 63 licensed, and I did all that, right? So I had sold life insurance as well. But it shouldn't be a morbid conversation to have because I guarantee, I know, I mean, you even at 24, you probably know somebody that passed away way before they should,
Yeah.
right? In their 30s, I mean, even quite frankly, in their 60s anymore. I mean, you should, hopefully live well into your 70s and 80s. So to say, wow, I'm 30 and I don't need it because I'm healthy, to your point, right? We all think we're going to live forever. And then a car accident happens.
Well, I was just at a funeral for a friend of mine I've known for 20 some years. And he worked for Paul's Lock and Key. And that car accident, he left home and healthy. Everything's fine. I mean, and didn't come home. I mean,
so it's not morbid. I think it's quite honestly, and I'll say this, you probably can't say this, but it's irresponsible, I think, especially if you're married, and especially if you have kids, right? If you have young children and you leave a spouse, maybe, I'm assuming, I'm going to go on a limb here, just like me, you married up, right?
Yep.
All right,
I'll kick the coverage, as they say, football fans.
100%, 100%. My wife's a nurse by trade too.
Yeah.
So she's a CRNA. Talk to your wife about that.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so, my wife, or, to leave my wife with 2 young kids, or myself with 2 young kids, would have been horrific.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have been able to, survive, quite frankly.
Right.
So it's not morbid. It's not morbid. It's a need. It's a need, and more people should have that conversation. It's like, all right, yeah, I probably should. And then, to your point, the younger it is, the cheaper it is.
Yeah, and then depending on the plan you get, it can be paid off. You can eventually have it where you've paid enough into your bucket of money that you've been putting into saving for your family that it's paid off. You don't have to worry about it anymore. And one of the worst things I hear when I'm talking to someone about a policy is, oh, me and my wife have been talking about that. We'll get back to you. I sleep worse at night. I drive home stressed because I'm like, if something happens to them and I could have pushed harder, I could have said something different that would have been like, yeah, we'll get this policy today. I just know that changed my life forever. So I am very serious when it comes to it. I'm passionate. I'm not going to grill you if you don't have anything. I'm not judging anyone who doesn't have anything. It's not easy, and it's a lot. It can be confusing. You go online, you see different ads, and no medical here, or get this for this. Well, you got to be careful because there's what's called accident and dismemberment insurance, which is way different than life insurance.
I'm sorry. This is not what Jeremiah sells. I mean, that stuff should not be allowed to be sold.
And it's very much marketed as life insurance. Yeah. It's not, if you're someone selling it, it's not being pushed really as accident, just when they legally are required to tell you.
Right. Jeremiah, I know you don't sell that.
No, that's not a dig. Yeah, and I know he would make them fully aware. As long as you're fully aware, and if that's something, if you're a plumber or you're working a trade and you're sticking your hands in places all day, or even working on cars, I mean, something happens.
Yeah, all my guys carry the supplemental insurance, and it is an accident policy, but we're in an accident-prone or dangerous industry.
Very much.
I mean, the ones I think the ones that he's talking about are the ones the only way they pay out.
That's more so. Yeah.
That stuff.
Yeah.
No, like,
you have to
be hit by a train in order to collect.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic! Because that happens a lot.
Yeah.
So
natural causes. Sorry, out of line.
Right. A car accident. Nope. Sorry.
Yeah. So, specific types. So it's crazy.
So I get you.
Yeah, but no, that's but yeah, I mean, when you're in an industry like that, though, then the supplemental insurance, but like you said, that's different. That's not.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a different animal.
Yes.
And it is, and there again, if you're the provider for your family, or if you're like a lot of folks where, I mean, Heather and I, we worked hard to make sure that if either of us lost our income, we're good.
Right.
We can live off one. We haven't overspent ourselves into oblivion where we have to have 2 incomes to make everything work. We're also empty nesters now. We don't have kids anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know that I really honestly could have said that when we had all the kids in the house. That you needed both incomes. That's just how it is. And as you mature past that, your bills lessen, and as long as you're not crazy. But again, you have to have that. You have to have that sense of security, and that's what the insurance provides you.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yep.
It just because you never know. I mean, of course, as we've mentioned multiple times in this podcast, I am getting older. But I mean, I've lost 7 people I bet I made it to and even through grandparents. I bet I made it till my mid-20s before I knew 7 people that had died.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, in the last year and a half,
Yeah.
lost 7 people
Well,
that I, not just acquaintances. I mean, people I know, people that I'm close to, and one was 2.5 years old, and that's terrible. I mean, I just, yeah,
bad.
it's terrible. And, so one of our members, for SBR, we lost Rob not that long ago, 6 months ago, probably now, 7,
something like
6
that.
or 7, something like that. Right. And then, Molly, she's one of our members, her grandson, almost died just a few blocks from here, was in daycare, and they lost track of him, and he ended up in the pond.
Oh,
And very lucky that they were able to resuscitate him, and he's great. I mean, he just lives. They literally live about 5 houses down from us now, or right, just right up the cul-de-sac around the corner. And I mean, beautiful little boy. And I think it's down over by the old golf course, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
so yeah.
Hey, question for you. Before you joined SBR, had you been in a networking group before, or knew anything about networking?
I have never been in a networking group. I had never heard anything about it, just from school. I mean, you learn networking events, this and that. You see memes about it, they're like whatever. No, I'd never done anything like that before.
What's your thoughts on it? Now that you've been in it a while.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you guys. I mean, I think I told you this before, Jerry, but when I Googled networking groups Rochester, SBR came up first, popped up before BNI, and that was back in.
Go.
I've been a member since I think November or late, whatever. So yeah, SBR popped up first, and it has by far been the most welcoming group. Something I look forward to showing up with, and I told my wife, everyone I was talking to about it when I first joined, I was like, the best part about it is I genuinely see myself being able to do business with every single person in that room, regardless of what their business is and regardless of the kind of person they are. I mean, obviously, everyone in there is a good person, but everyone is so passionate. Everyone's so energetic. They're so excited to share what they have and also listen to others that I look forward to it every single week.
That's what happens when you join a 7 a.m. group, because you gotta be diehard to want to do that.
And that's what I was telling my brother too when I first joined. I was like, man, you had invited me to the 7 a.m. one group after I reached out, and I was the whole time leading up to it, I'm like, why did I agree to this? 7 a.m.? Like, what am I thinking? Well, I get there, and for the 60-second referral pitch, this is my business. It's a trend. Everyone who's there is a business owner or an agent or something. They're not.
But they're an entrepreneur, for sure.
They're an entrepreneur.
Yeah, for sure.
Those are the people that are hungry. They got to wake up, go there early, so that way they can get their day started at the right time.
And everybody, Craig is in another 7 a.m. group on Thursday. Is his group.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Well, it's much smaller, so they have time to chat.
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
Overcompensating for something.
Yeah.
But really, when you do that 7 a.m. group, it is a different animal than a lunch group, for instance. So we have our lunch group on Wednesday, and not that they're not great people too. Everybody is. It's just it does. I hear the 11:30 group doesn't ever hear, I'm not getting up that early. I'm not doing that.
I've only visited the Wednesday chapter a few times because I can't. I mean,
I'm in the same boat.
It's tough for me to get there, but I mean, I like the 7 a.m. I mean, I know it's early. Don't get me wrong. I know it is early. But I don't know. I mean, when you get older, you just get up. You're up anyway.
So out of all the people that are in your 7 a.m. group and my 7 a.m. group that Jacob and I are in, I mean, how many people there, if they decide not to go to work today, can just not go to work today? Everybody. I mean, there's really nobody in that room that I can think of that just can't. I mean, we can all just take the day off, but they don't.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean?
I think that's the point. I think that helps people that, to your point, like you're obviously a very ambitious young guy. So the fact that you researched networking group that you knew would be beneficial for you.
Yeah.
That's a different.
And
that's
then
a
you
different
choose
animal.
to get up
that's
that early and do it.
Yeah.
And at your age, that's commendable.
And
I appreciate it. It's just it makes it easy when the people that are there are there. I mean, building the relationships. And I had said it one week, like, I am genuinely interested in business. I love everything about it, the financing, what your operations are, the supply chain. Like, tell me what your business is up to. I'd love to hear about it. So
let me ask you this: we have Marty McQuiston. who Focal Point. He's a business coach,
Yep.
and he did a podcast here just probably about a month and a half ago, something like that. We did his episode, but now he does our education one from a young guy perspective, entrepreneur, right on your way. What do you think of his education moments as part of the SBR curriculum, if you will, or the agenda for the day?
I don't know who did it before Marty. I was there, I think, for a couple. I think it was Denise. She did a phenomenal job. Don't get me wrong.
Yep.
But when Marty goes up there, you're ready. I'm ready to pay attention.
Yeah,
I'm ready to learn, because what he has is just phenomenal information. Yep. I mean, that's his job. That's his career. He coaches. So for him to go up there and share tidbits and not be charging us,
the fact that he's willing to do it is amazing to me. It just shows what a great human being he is. And I don't know where you guys are at now, so I'm not throwing stones at whoever's doing it now. But in your group, you had Rebecca Rowe doing it Rutgers before.
She was fantastic too. And different than Marty. I haven't seen. No, actually, I did see one of Marty's. I was there. I subbed for. I think it's.
I'm just so impressed with him.
Yeah,
I really am. Just good person.
We're so in the Tuesday or Thursday we're just kind of rotating. So like I did it last week and I'm doing it this weekend too because I'm using Marty's Clear.
There you go.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, and it's a 5-part. It's awesome.
So I'm excited every week for it.
Yeah. So that's a really good one. I really enjoyed. I really liked that presentation. We had Rebecca, and she, her strength. A couple things was, first off, she was a very good presenter, but she's had training in that.
Excellent speaker. Yeah.
Very good speaker. But she has also been through numerous sales trainings and numerous business trainings. She's a very smart woman. And so to your point, when Marty goes up, you want to listen to him.
Yeah.
And that was the same way it was with Rebecca. You just, okay, what is she going to talk about? And she could put in great presentations. And now we're rotating through. Heather Fieldworth is doing a couple. She's a mortgage lender. She does a really nice job.
I don't know her, but I've heard such good things.
She's fantastic.
Okay,
Heather is just a good thing. Again, let's go speak to all.
You should get her to come on with us because I would like to meet her. I think I should say I think we've met, but I've never really talked with her.
She's a fantastic person. To your point, Jake. I mean, I think one of the benefits of SBR that we have really cultivated is it's not cliquey.
Right.
We had that conversation in our chapter last week. It is very welcoming and open to new members, prospective members, or just
people
members
are
in general.
When there's a new person in the room. It's not like you shun that person. It's like, oh, here we go again.
Yeah.
They're just excited going, hey, who's this guy? We're
full on the commercial or on the insurance side now with the addition of Jeff and April. I love talking with them every week. There is no.
Yeah, I mean, and you guys are, for the most part, you guys are all direct competitors.
We are. Yes.
For a group that doesn't allow, direct competition, you guys all have a different area of insurance. But at the end of the day, when you're outside that room, you guys all do the same things.
Yeah.
I mean, you all have the ability to write the same policies.
And yet outside the room, I'd feel comfortable sending a referral to either one of them and knowing they're not going to try to poach something in another policy.
Jeff Fassbender.
He just joined.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. I've known Jeff for years.
Yeah, I know Jeff.
I thought you knew. Yeah. I thought you knew. He another good human being. I mean,
let's get him on here.
I
think he'd have a lot to share.
Yeah, we're gonna let him run a few weeks, but he already said he wants to come on and do a podcast. So
maybe we should get all three of you on here. You, April, and Jeff.
That would be fun, actually.
Oh, you bring Zuko in too, that suave Italian.
Yeah.
Zuko. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, but and April did finally say, she still hasn't given me a date, but she did say, I will do a podcast. So she's ready now that she's got her own agency. Yeah. She's ready to do her podcast.
That's someone I'd feel comfortable sending my grandma to April. I mean, it's just I know she's going to take care of whatever needs
to talk about. To say that someone is a good human being, that just doesn't cut it with April. It's just not enough. She is awesome.
I think that's again that has, and I'm not saying that this doesn't happen in other networking groups too, but like the fact if you have a client that you can't write for whatever reason, that you can confidently say, go talk to April, go talk to Jeff. Mm-hmm. They are your competitor. I mean, right? Yeah. We get that, but you deal with it in the mechanics world, right? If you don't do something or
Yep.
but you know who to send them to, and that's a big part of I think of a really solid networking group is that
the difference is
we want Jake at State Farm to succeed and Broadway Car Care to succeed and Precision Science to succeed, but we also want April to succeed, and we want we want Severson to succeed. But there's more to it.
Yeah, my 2 cents on that is you're absolutely right. First off, I mean, absolutely right. But I think the reason that SBR works as well as it does is because we try to separate the categories. Like you said, we have 3.
That does help.
That does help,
yeah.
sure, from a logistics standpoint. But have you ever felt, I guess just an honest question, have you ever felt like we're just there for the business?
No, that's not at all.
Because you look at other networking groups. I spent 20 years in one, and and when you get recruited into it, it didn't matter how well you'd mesh personally with the group, with the other people in the room, how your business would fit in. It was, oh, you're going to pay a due? Yeah, we'd love to have you. We need to have you, and we're going to email the shit out of you and call you and harass you until you just tell me to leave you alone or you join. And for us, it's like, we have a caterer, just a sweetheart, and I think we're going to use her for the lacrosse.
Is that the one that just
Emily.
Great.
Yeah.
She was so genuine and brought the rhubarb bars for everyone,
Listen, this is getting out of hand here with the Tuesday rhubarb.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Emily's.
Yeah. Emily's her name, and she's a very sweet person. Her food is fantastic.
Okay.
And
does she want to visit Thursday? Because I mean, this is a fun chapter. Emily, listen.
This is a point I was trying to make before you so rudely interrupted me from your arrogant chapter on Thursday. No, I'm just kidding. It's a great chapter, but I did tell her she came and she visited and she liked us. She's a friend of Deb Patzner.
Oh, okay.
And so that's who invited her. She came in and she's like, probably a month away from being able to join. She has got a food truck and they're doing some big repairs, putting a motor in it. So it's going to be a little bit. She said she'd like to wait till she has the truck available before you start pushing, which makes perfect sense.
Yeah, sure.
But so she visited again last week. So, and we usually say, 2 visits and then we'd like you to make a decision or it's enough of the visits, but I did tell her, I said, we do have the Wednesday at 11:30, we have the 7:00 on Thursday, and we have the 9:00 on Thursday. If you want to see the dynamic of another group and see if there's anyone else you'd like to, personal relationship you'd like to build with more so than this room, do take the time and go visit. That's the last conversation we had. And she like, of course, Deb invited her and she really clicked in our group. Randy Donahue gave her an order for egg rolls on her first visit. Just, let's try it. And he loved them and he just bragged about her right away. So point being that's exactly it. It's like, I love this gal. I'd love to have her in our chapter, but I want to make sure it's good for her, not just good for me, So I did make sure and mention we have 3 other chapters right here, meet in the same building, different times, different days. If there's a day that works better for you, or if you just want to try and see, because as cool as all of our chapters are, they're just like having kids. You have 4 kids, they're all different. And that's how our chapters are. They're all different. Yeah. So, I mean, so that was my point was I want her to succeed. If she's going to join our group, okay, we're going to get paid, right? She's going to pay her membership and we're going to get paid. I get that. And that's part of being in business. But if I know that someone's going to join and I'm going to get paid, right? SBR is going to get paid for their membership and they're going to hate it and they're never going to come back, then pass. We don't need that payment that bad. I'm not going to coerce you to make that payment. Like here, you visited twice, time to make a decision.
Right.
No, it's like, that's the rule. That's the written rule. And we need to have rules. But on the same token, you came because Deb was there. If you want to go scout out the other chapters, by all means, let's do that. Let's make sure we do everything we can. The price is the same. The time commitment's the same. It's at a different time different time in the week. But it's like, let's make sure we give you everything we can to be successful.
You can come visit Thursday morning.
I think
you and Jake, you're another Jake from State Farm.
Yeah, that's right.
No, you're in Tuesday. You can't go Tuesday.
Get to see what a flood meeting looks like.
I'm sure. Yeah.
I will say that was probably the worst byproduct of doing SBR was separating out so many of my friends and people that we hung out with. I mean, when Craig and I used to have a hoot, we were in the same chapter together for years, and it was a ton of fun. And we got business done. besides. It wasn't just fun. I mean, but it was very entertaining. And so that's the one negative for me personally of SBR was that we kind of separated, people. But on the same token, now we have 4 chapters. We have over 100 people in Rochester that are benefiting from what we've put together. And like you said, I mean, you're liking it. So that's the important thing.
No, and I love supporting small local business. I'm all for that, mom and pop shops. So the fact I'm getting to meet the people who own them now is even better. Like Randy at Appliance Village, had I not joined the networking group, no offense, I couldn't care less about Appliance Village. But now that I know who Randy is, man, I'm talking to everybody about ranges and dishwashers because I want to help Randy.
But you're absolutely right. I mean, how many small businesses out there that are running that we have no personal relationship? When I talk about SBR and networking, that's why I said, is it all about business? Is it just give me business or don't talk to me? It's not like that in any of our chapters. No. It's about the personal relationship. It's about making sure, like Craig said, that everybody is. My favorite thing is success is fantastic. It's awesome, even when it's not yours. Mm-hmm. Just do what you can to help other people be successful. It will come around. People will see it. People will appreciate it. And that 0.5% or 1% of the population doesn't appreciate what you did for them. That's not you can
paper rocks.
Exactly. It's like, you know what? Whatever. I know I did the right thing. If you can't reciprocate, fair enough. That's on you. But it's such a small percentage of the people out there. Most everyone is going to appreciate it and they're going to bring it back. And then then the other side of it, being an entrepreneur, you got to perform, right? Mm-hmm. You've got to, if you say you have integrity, then you have to have integrity. If you say you're good at what you do, then be good at what you do. Don't embarrass people when they refer someone.
No, exactly. Yeah. So, someone sends me a referral. That is the highest priority. That is my number one. That's the biggest compliment.
Right. Yeah.
Literally. Yeah.
And so for me, SBR is there. It's Small Business Referral Group. It's in the name, for crying out loud. I mean, you can't hide what we do. But at the end of the day, the referrals are not what we have to focus on. It's the personal relationship, getting to know Jake at State Farm. And saying Jake at State Farm because it's fun, right? Just, you know what I mean? It's like, we know your name's Jacob, but it's just too much fun.
No, and you know what? Getting to know people and showing up to meetings, it takes time. It takes energy. Guess what? That's business. I mean, you can't expect to show up and not do anything, not put any skin in, not have any conversations, and all of a sudden expect business to start magically coming your way. You got to put in the time, do some handshakes,
and that's why I asked about, because being 24. I wish I would. I mean, I didn't know nothing about networking until I was in my 30s. So we're probably even later, frankly. Yeah. So when I bought Mosquito, that's why I asked. I mean, young entrepreneurs, young people, whether you're an agent aspiring to have your own agency, to starting your own business, or you're working for somebody right now, you're an electrician, you want to become your own electric company, whatever you want to do.
Right.
Networking is a huge part of being successful.
The thing that you just don't know is, okay, so when I met you were in Mosquito Squad, mm-hmm. right? And so
technically I met you in the car club that you don't remember what I was a part of.
Oh anyway. Yeah, that was too long. He keeps telling me the story. I don't believe it. He keeps telling me the story. But like with Mosquito Squad. Now, we talk about your friend once in a while, and he's in financial businesses, right? Now, so if I meet you at a market or at a networking event, or a meeting, and you own Mosquito Squad, you're out spraying people's yards, and I'm working on cars, I'm running an auto shop, okay. Do I assume that I'm going to meet a guy that sprays mosquitoes that could introduce me to a wealth planner that could really help me down the road? I mean, you don't know that. Right. You have no idea. And I have no idea who you know and what connections we can make when you go, I got a friend of mine. You should meet this guy. It's like, those are the kinds of connections that you just don't see coming, but they're there.
And to back to your age, you just don't think about connecting other people with people
No.
So that's why, as you continue to grow in your career, and just as you continue to get older, you'll just meet more people. Next thing you know, you're like, oh yeah, I know that guy.
I love being able to say I have a guy for every
and that is actually great.
And I think really a big part of that comes from when I was younger. I'd mentioned doing some flip houses with my dad, my brother, some real estate stuff. I mean, you don't flip houses without knowing a couple guys. Right. You got to find the house in the first spot. I mean, sure, you can do all your own digging, diving. Good luck.
Right.
There's
Good luck.
plenty of other Chris Lindalls out there. You'll get that thing from under your feet. Well, then once you find the place, well, you got to know an electrician. Say you need switches, outlets all done, and you don't have time to do it yourself. You got to get an electrician. Well, now you want a couple toilets changed, couple fixtures, vanities done. Well, there's another plumber. Well, now you need new flooring. Well, I don't know how to lay flooring. So, I mean, by the time if you paid.
But even if you did, how many hours do you have in your day?
Yeah.
You know,
that
I mean,
too.
you don't have any more hours than I do. I mean, they're all the same. It's one of my favorite sayings, and I think this is more true when you're younger. As you get older, this saying becomes less relevant, but it's easier to make friends with your customers than make customers out of your friends.
Yeah, for sure.
Man,
You know?
that's, yeah.
And you think about that. It's like, it's true. And especially when you're younger, and it's not because you're not worth them going to. You just don't, when you're younger, you don't think about it.
Yeah.
Then the networking part is not important to most people your age. So, I mean, I'm with Craig. I have to commend you on just seeing the value in it, let alone the fact that you've got the ambition and the drive to get up in the morning and do it. But just the fact that you see the value of it in the first place, that's a huge step.
Well, I appreciate it. And I mean, it's just, I think it speaks for itself. I mean, just the connections I've been able to make and people I'm comfortable. I mean, even taking my car to you, Jerry. Like, I got that 2015 Honda Accord. I love that thing to death, but there's just problems with it. I got 160,000 miles on it. That's a lot of miles for a 2015, and all of a sudden I need a new belt, and I need the coolant flush. I don't know nothing about cars. That is like the one thing where my wife's like, you should change your own oil. And I'm like, I can't. No.
Empty apartment building.
Yeah. So,
I can't.
I don't want to do it. Let me bring it. Now that I know Jerry, it's awesome.
Don't just pay the money. Just
It's
a mess.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. I mean, obviously I have a shop, so I don't change my own oil at home. But of all the
do you change your own oil, or do you make like Brandon do it?
So, Jacob, here's I don't change my oil.
I think you
No. I don't. No.
I didn't think you did.
No, I like my tires rotated. They're heavy.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that. That's So no, Brandon and Sean and Darwin, they all take care of me when I need something. They do. They treat me right. They're good guys. They do a good job. So, but my stuff is usually the stuff that I complain or whine or try to educate my customers on. We all do it wrong because it's the cobbler never has new shoes, right?
Oh, yeah,
it's that
right.
that mentality. It's like we're just too busy, and so my stuff is a lot of times it's overdue on oil changes, and it shouldn't be. And I know how detrimental it is. That's why I tell people don't ever buy my cars. I trade them at 30 or 40,000 miles typically. They don't last me very long. I'm just like, nope. I take care of it as best I have time for. So don't buy my cars. That's let pass on
to
that.
self.
To self. But no, but again, back to it's all about the relationships, and you build the relationships, and the referrals come. It really does.
And I don't expect, especially with me being the life insurance role, I do not expect anyone to send a referral my way until I've met them in person, and they know where my values are. They know that I'm a pretty stand-up guy. At least I hope that they think that about me. But I just want to let them know I'm available, and anyone you send my way, I'm going to treat them like they were you, which is good if I'm meeting with them. Yeah, so please.
Well, I'll tell you, when you and I had our handshake and hello, and we talked about it kind of at the end of the lunch there. Again, being an older guy and being an entrepreneur, you've gotten to know me a little bit. We don't know each other real well yet, but we're getting there. You asked me questions that I'm going to make the assumption if I were 20 years younger, you wouldn't have asked. You'd have asked me different questions. I mean, we weren't talking about life insurance to make sure that Heather was okay. We were talking about life insurance to protect assets.
Yeah.
Now, I'm guessing you talk to a 35-year-old guy, a 25-year-old guy, you're not talking about protecting assets.
Everyone's different. Like I mentioned earlier, there's a different policy for everyone out there. And just having something is the most important thing you can do. It's one of the most selfless things you can do too. Mm-hmm. Making sure even after you're gone, even if it's from old age, whatever, even if you catastrophically, I know. It's not for old age.
Chest pain right from that. This could be the big one.
I'm going to take care of everyone the best I can. And there is different questions for different people, and that's how it should be.
Yep.
You know, I'm not going to give you a generic form. How much debt do you have? How much is your?
But Jacob, that's not how the majority of the world works. The majority of the world works off of that form letter. I mean, that's what they do,
Yeah.
and they have that generic. Well, we need to get to know you, and it's like, you don't want to get to know me. You want me to answer your questions, and then you're going to give it to someone smarter than you to formulate questions to ask back.
Yeah.
And with you, it wasn't. I didn't. It kind of like we talked about the podcast. We said that in the beginning. I don't want this to be an interview.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Jacob. Where are you from? How long have you been selling insurance?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want that generic yes and no question and answer. You know, that's why we bring Craig in too. It's like we have that extra person to interject some humor and ask questions that I'm not thinking about and have better conversation. We want to be conversational. That's how I felt it with you. And obviously, it was an entrance interview. Is really what it was. In all honesty, for both of us. You know, but it didn't feel like it.
Yeah,
it was like two guys just having a conversation.
Man, we talked like an hour and a half.
It was
too. Yeah, it was
a
good amount of time, and none of it felt awkward. Like, so what do you have? Or like, it was just very, very conversational, and that's how I want it to be for everyone. I don't want it to be oh my gosh, if you died tomorrow, your kids are screwed. Like, no, that's not it.
You suck as a parent.
Yeah.
This is the definition of bad parenting. FYI, I don't want to be the one to bring it up, but I can't see you. You look surprised. I thought you knew. But you know, when you're having those conversations, handshakes and hellos, it is all about checking the boxes. But it didn't feel like we were checking boxes. Yeah. And we did. I mean, that's what we did. So I never said that out loud. I just want to say I was very impressed with the caliber of questions that you asked. You know, so that to me says a lot about you as a person too. I mean, obviously very intelligent, because you know, not everybody looks at what you need on your end. What boxes you need to check. And you just ask these generic questions. And those questions, a lot of them just aren't relevant to certain people. I mean, now all the questions are relevant to someone, but not to me. Now you talk to Craig, you're gonna massage that a little bit. He's gonna have very similar questions to him that you have for me. There's not that much difference between he and I. But then all of a sudden you go to that's a lot.
Looks like he's been hitting district a little more too. Yeah,
he's been working out, that's for sure. So, but that's the thing. You got to look around and ask the questions that are going to be relevant. And if you ask the same questions to a 25-year-old, that most of those questions that you and I, the things you and I talked about, most of those aren't really relevant. They don't apply at all. They really don't. No, they really don't. They might. You know, you don't know till you ask, I guess. But chances are it's like a poker hand. You know, if you bet on that hand every time, you're going to lose some, but you're going to win more than you lose. Yeah. Same thing. You got to play that side of the game.
And you know, the people that just want to have the standard, okay, here's my debt, here's what I need to cover, that's fine. I don't care. But really, the clients that I'm going to pick up the phone for on the very first ring when I see they're calling me out of office hours, those are the ones that the conversation's a little bit different. And it's not so much an interview and we're taking it, you know, based on a conversation we have, I'm able to do more for you than me truthfully just asking the questions, because sometimes you don't even know what you need.
Right.
So that's a big one.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not an insurance guy. I really don't. I know what it takes for us to live, you know, and I know what we've got, and I'm comfortable with where I'm at, but that doesn't mean you don't have to protect it some, you know, because now it's not about making sure that she's got the money to pay this or pay the funeral or pay, you know, that's not the problem. The problem is how much is it going to cost her? You know, if it happens,
vacations.
That's really what she's concerned. Legos and vacations. That's yes. When all I know is when I die, you're going to see some pretty cool Lego boxes show up at the front door. So, So I'll need to. She'll have to use some of that life insurance to hire security so we don't get porch pirated.
Good call.
So we were talking about timing earlier. How long do you think we've been at this podcast so far?
Yeah, I took a quick look at my watch. Man, it's already been over an hour and a half.
Almost an hour and a half. Hour and 22 minutes we've been at. Wow. Yeah. So it doesn't seem like that long, does it?
No, not at all.
So here's another episode that we shot for 30 to 45 minutes and failed miserably. But it's been great conversation. I love it, and that's why we do this. It's just, but we'll see if Jacob listens to this. He said he would not listen to a podcast that went an hour and a half.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So I don't know if that's a statement you want to stand behind
just
anymore or
have,
not.
just have your wife. Just have your wife listen to it. And,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. I had a couple friends and family ask for the links, so
Good.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
I did get a couple views.
It takes a couple weeks to get them from this point to actually up, but
Okay.
you'll be one of the first to know, and we'll get you some shorts, and we'll get the reels.
I know you had mentioned you do it a lot with the clipping too,
Yep.
which is like that's really cool.
I use AI Opus clips because, again, like I said at the beginning, I would like to take back a few of the statements I've had, and I just don't. We tell everybody what you say you own. So So as terrible as my opening was today, I have to own it. So
did Dave know you're doing it?
Yeah, I talked with him, and I did have a couple. I'm like, man, should I bring up this? He's like, don't worry, you're fine. Talk about whatever you need to, whatever you want. And so he was.
He can come over.
Yeah,
he would love to. I actually brought it up to him. I was like, you should come, and he's like, if it wasn't so far of a drive. So he lives in Faribault.
Yeah.
So one way or another, I know he'd be happy to be on here though.
We can do a call-in one.
I got to figure that out because there's software. I think I have to buy software for that, which I will. That's not a problem, but it's just I don't know how to do it. I've got a guy that I did one from a young man in Canada that I was a guest on his podcast. I had another one in Maine and one in Vermont, but I don't know how they do it. He sent me a link to a software, and I know Jordan Carrillo, they do Zoom type online because he's got a friend of his from Oklahoma that he does a podcast with. So, but I know he bought into the one that I had a link for, and he didn't like it. He went to something else. But I will ask him what it is because SBR, as we grow, we're getting further and further from home where people aren't going to be able to come to the studio.
Right.
So we're going to have to get that. Yeah, we got to get that going here fairly quick, actually, because especially now with lacrosse coming on board. And then we'll be in Iowa and potentially Faribault. May have its own chapter. So, with Mankato and the Twin Cities, we've got a couple of folks that are looking at maybe being trainers for us in the Twin Cities. So then that's getting too far away. Right. Like Brainerd is already too far away, So, Well, any last thoughts before we ask how people get a hold of you?
No, I got nothing. I appreciate both your guys' time having me on here, and if anyone has any questions,
How do we get a hold of you? What's the best way for someone to get a hold of you?
Best way to get a hold of me is to give our office a call. You can write it down if you remember it, but 641-324-2141. That's our direct office. Unfortunately, I don't have a direct line, so you can't hit a magical button to get transferred to Jake from State Farm. But if you ask for Jake from State Farm, you'll get sent right over to me. I truthfully prefer phone call. That's the easiest. I don't like doing the text and phone tag games between email. Give me a call. We'll get straight to the point. I'm not going to waste your time. I hope you don't waste mine. But other than phone call, I do like email just because I'm like to type stuff out, read it over and over. Rather text gets so misinterpreted. I feel like, and especially now with being married a little over a year, that has never been more true. About just you say one thing, and it is like you meant these three other things, and it's like no, I didn't. And so please just phone call or email.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Sorry, honey. That's not what I meant.
Yeah. It happens. And especially in business too. People text there, and it's, and also people can get lazy and they use abbreviations like UR for your, and you're like, okay, guys, like come on, let's email me and let's use full punctuation.
Yeah. 24. Well done.
Yes.
Pet peeve, I guess you could say.
Amen. Amen. What's your email?
Oh, you can just do jake@savewithdave.biz. So jake@savewithdave.biz.
Awesome. Craig, any last thoughts?
Nope. Appreciate it. It was fun. It was a good one.
Math tips before we go?
Math.
Overinsure your boats.
Stated value. And try to overvalue a WRX.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right. Next time I buy a clapped out WRX,
right?
Go to Jake. Stated value.
We'll get you taken care of.
That's right. We got all kinds of advice. All kinds of good advice coming tonight.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thanks a lot for coming, Jake. Craig, again, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for being here. All right, guys. Have a great night. We'll see you next time.